Good morning, YouTube, and welcome to the abyss that is the basement.
What have you been up to?
I've been riding on a daydream.
We want to thank RV Mattress by Brooklyn Bedding for sponsoring this video.
You know, we are getting to the point where we kind of missed our RV, especially going into winter. But the one thing that we don't miss is our RV mattress by Brooklyn Bedding. The reason is we brought it with us. Now, we went through a couple of different iterations of the mattress, and the last one that we got for the RV, actually our son is using now, and his comfort and sleep quality is just as good as ours was with that mattress. They're just high quality mattresses. They're just made right. And they make so many different ones to fit your body style. So maybe like in our case, the first one we got was a little firm and a little warm for our taste. The second one, the Dream Foam Hybrid, that one worked out great. And that's the one he has. Now, we have one that's a signature hybrid that is incredible for the bedroom now. But all of these, you know, they're shipped for free. You get a 120 night sleep trial, which is 4 months if you haven't done the math on that. And, you know, if you like the mattress, you've got a 10-year warranty, which is great. Now, we have a discount code here, which you see is it's 25% off now with the code Daydream. If you go to the link in the description, just use that link. And I'm telling you, it's very, very nice to lay down each night on this mattress. And the one that we're seeing here is the one that we currently have at our home, the Signature Hybrid. Very nice mattress. It was a king size, and it was very close to the queen that we had. Of course, we had to buy a platform bed to put it on, which we've never we've never really had a platform bed before. We've always had a slatted bed, and this thing works just fine for that. Now, the one thing that I want to thank them about is that exclusive discount, the 25% on the mattress using the code Daydream. But that's not all. Be sure to explore their outstanding sales throughout the month of November. They're going to be the biggest deals of the year, and some of them reaching up to 30% off. So don't miss this chance to enhance your sleep quality. And go to rvmattress.com today. Remember, once November's over, so's the deals. Back to the video.
What's on the plans today, honey?
I don't know. We make plans and then we change them.
Like we have project number 629,000.
I have a hard time being in this room with it being white because it looks so cloudy.
Cloudy?
Yeah, it looks cloudy to me.
Maybe your glasses are causing a glare.
On Tuesday, I'm going to America's Best.
Oh, get some glasses.
It's 10:10 in the morning.
We never did get the poles in here.
Well,
So here's what this looks like. This is what surrender looks like. And we're surrendering for the winter. Obviously, we didn't get the walls done in here. We were supposed to get some poles put in here to help.
Since winter's coming,
And
the poles can be done in the winter.
that's true. I mean, we still can do this stuff, but we were going to take and put the treatment over the blocks over here in the corner. I don't know if you can tell, but there's probably probably 3/8 of an inch of maybe 3/8 of an inch at the most. I think it's closer probably to 1/4 inch of treatment that's over top of this block that has come off this corner of the wall because the gutters have not been draining. And anyways, so we was going to put treatment over this and then paint all the wall here. Of course, repair all this, mortar and these cracks here. Fix all that, paint it all, paint the floor, and then put poles up to help support the porch, which, like Heidi said, that can be done at any time. And then at that point in time, this room would have been finished. You can see over here that this needs something. I still don't know what that's going to entail. But because of it coming into winter, we know that we need to...
Probably can move those back in there.
we need to clear out the garage. So Heidi wants to put her project furniture in here, which she'll have plenty of room. I'm sure other stuff's going to go in here too. But then out here we're going to put the bikes in, because the garage is just filled with furniture, bikes, and totes. There's a lot of totes out there too. So I have review stuff that needs to be done, that's out there, and I have more review stuff that's coming. But in the meantime, you can see our paint sprayers sitting there. Well, the paint sprayer did not get lubricated, fixed, whatever you want to call it, finished. It didn't get its, we have it full of what they call pump saver or whatever that stuff is, to keep it lubricated so it don't rust. But we planned on painting relatively quick, so there it sits.
That was our plan.
That was our plan. And again, this is a surrender. So today I have to drain that out.
If I had a couple more months without working, maybe we could have got some of this done. But
Yeah, but we also had to have a couple more months of money.
yeah, you're right.
And we just basically, the money started to get lower and lower and lower, and it got...
It costs money to live in a house.
Yeah.
We was living cheap before.
Yeah, it's nice. I mean, we don't have a mortgage payment.
Right.
And our utilities are actually, we were told whenever we first started looking at houses that maybe we should look at Niles, because the utilities...
Guys at work say that Niles utilities are way cheaper.
Well, our water, trash, sewage, so sewer, water, and trash here is about $50 a month.
Yeah, it's a little over 50.
What, 55? Still, it could be, if we took, less showers, maybe be less, but...
Well, that's the electric bills. What, even though I signed up for 7 cents and it is 12 through Ohio Edison, I got it for 7. We're still paying about $240 a month. We didn't have an electric bill for 3 years.
Right.
But I always told Michael that since I roast to death in the summer and freeze to death in the winter at work, that I want to be comfortable when we're home. But our heat here is something to be desired because it's so drafty upstairs. And I'm very thankful that we decided to put carpet.
Yeah,
because it would have been real super drafty.
We have to feel that out. It's so hard to figure out.
That's why upstairs they had all those staples.
Yeah.
Because they had a blanket up there.
Where?
Right at the top of the steps. We pulled like, I don't know, 60 staples out of there. But I don't think...
There's only one person staying up there then.
Yeah, well, look at the rooms.
They probably weren't staying up there. They were staying downstairs.
It was probably just Jesse, and he was trying to keep the...
So the house is... Don't get me wrong, the house is warm.
Yeah.
I mean, we could crank the heat up, and it's very warm. It's just... like Heidi said, there's a lot of cold air that comes from upstairs down the stairwell and across me sitting in my recliner. I don't know.
We don't have any return vents upstairs.
Yeah, so the return is the it's going across stairwell
through the living room.
Yeah, but that's what we've kind of got to get done here. Like I said, we're surrendering. I've been
Michael
fighting.
Acts like it's the most terrible thing.
It is. It's called winter in Ohio. That's the most terrible thing.
You gotta make the best of it. You tell me whenever I get down. You gotta make the best of it.
I am. I'm making the best of it by making fun of it.
and hounding on it all the time. So we've got stuff to do. Again, though, ideally, I was supposed to have a ceiling up in here. We originally were thinking about painting it. You can see where Heidi painted. I mean, it looks pretty good there. She just rolled it, but we have this paint sprayer, and we were going to paint all this. But the problem is that there's so many wires and cables and hoses and stuff that are, you know, along the wall. It just,
some of the stuff can probably go.
yeah.
I mean, we don't know.
Yeah, we've got wires that are live that are just like this wire here. I think this wire's live.
Like, what's this?
And it's some clothesline. But you can see it's just cut off right there. We got a lot of that going on.
Probably need an electrician here.
And then this was rigged up.
That looks safe.
Yeah, I don't know where they had that. It probably needed screwed up into the rafters or something. Anyways, it's just, it didn't get done. I think personally that because this place used to have a ceiling in it, you know, in the past.
They left all the.
Yeah, there's the trim. That was the trim that went up against the ceiling, and all these, for the most part, are low enough that it looks pretty good. You know what? I would almost not be opposed, and Heidi can chime in on this. I would almost not be opposed to this being the ceiling, this cold air return chloroplast.
Well, they have some stuff that you just staple up.
Yeah, but it have to be bigger sheets than this. There's
Right.
too many seams and too many
Right.
staples, but yeah, it would be kind of nice that if we just had a.
Probably like 4x8. If you could find something 4x8.
Yeah, I mean, we know that we could buy chloroplast
Right.
and just staple it up there. And you know, it might be a thing. I mean, we just want it to look a little brighter and cover up all the ugly that's up there. You know, pipes, stuff like that. Again, painting it probably
Would improve.
would be okay. It's just, I don't think that with all the, and again, we're looking here and some voids, but like over here, you get into this stuff here. I don't know what that would look like painted. And then all this, what would all this look like painted? All this whole area.
I don't think it looked bad.
You could kind of see all this crap, all this in here. I don't know what all this would look like painted. It just, I think it would look weird. So, and then, of course, we didn't get any of this done. We ain't even talking about any of this. But we, like I said, we're kind of surrendering here to some extent and just saying, listen, let's use the basement the way that we normally use the basement and put stuff down here. Now, why would we be putting those electric bikes down there? Those electric bikes, they disappear at random. They leave whenever they leave.
Yeah,
Meaning,
it's weird. You either have somebody that lives in town near us buy one, or someone that travels an hour or two.
or from New York
Yeah.
or Pennsylvania.
Yeah. Well, Pennsylvania's not that far.
Right. Well, New York's not that far either.
You're right.
But the whole idea is that the bikes need to be staged somewhere else, and this will be it. Plus, I also have to bring down the pressure washer. I've always stored our pressure washer in the basement during the winter.
You gotta take all the fuel out though.
No, I'll think about it. And then we've got, like I said, her stuff. But our old basement, we had shelves in the basement. We had stuff stored on the shelves. Well, we want to do that down here too. I mean,
If we get this room all squared around, I think that room needs to be the storage room.
yeah, we're kind of caught in a weird setup too, because these rafters need to have insulation put in them.
Yeah. Won't take much though.
Because again, I don't know if you guys remember, or a lot of you are saying, God, quit talking about it. This is the porch. I mean, this literally on top of these boards, which are only about that thick, on top of these porch boards
is just indoor outdoor carpet, and when people walk in, you know, off of the street up the steps, our front steps, they're right there. Matter of fact, if Heidi was outside on the porch talking, we could hear it just as well as probably what you can hear me talking now. So there's insulation needs to be done in here, because this is going to get cold in the winter. There's, like I said, there's just indoor outdoor carpet. That's it, just a little layer. And other than that, it's outside. So I have a feeling whatever goes in here, we're going to end up putting, you can see there used to be a door here, which was just trashed. That's why it's not here any longer. But I think we'll end up putting at bare minimum, a piece of plastic up or something to just to keep the cold out. It's an older house, but things are doable. So now it's time for the well, we got to get the hose in at some point too.
Yeah.
Oh, and I got to shut off that water spigot. Both of them. Alexa, turn on garage light. So, looky McLooky 10. Oh, sorry guys, I just made your all your automated stuff come on, right?
Oh, it's so bad.
So, the pressure washer has to go in the basement, but the trick there is the pressure washer, I have to hook the sewer jetter. I got to put the sewer jetter line together. I haven't even put it together. And I got to hook it up to the pressure washer, and I need to sewer jet the drain in the garage, which was supposed to be done before we even moved anything in here. And yeah, then it happened. Go figure that out. There's
We're moving everything out. So.
yeah. So let us get these things in the basement, and hopefully when we come back and you rejoin us, it looks a lot better than it currently does, because it is a disaster. Well, we're slowly making a dent here. Heidi had to go and get some of our shelves. If you guys don't remember, when we lived in our home over in Beloit, we had our basement, we had a whole bunch of these shelves. There's actually one course higher. I don't know what to say, not concourse. One course higher, one shelf more, whatever you want to say, that goes with these. And we had roughly 6 of them, I think, in the basement. Well, we got a bug hanging out on the camera. It's a little cold out here. You can see that my breath just fogged that up. Anyways, when we moved out of our house, we got rid of pretty much everything, but there was, I think, 4 totes that we had, and I think our son had like 6 totes. So what we did was stored all that over at my daughter's house, her husband's, their house that we were staying at before we bought this place. And it was just in the basement for the last 3 years on those shelves. And then we said, hey, if you want to use these other shelves, here they are. Because we just, shelves, sometimes they're really expensive. I think they're like $55 a piece. I know we had 6 or 7 of them. I can't remember how many. Anyways, now that we've come back, they're like, hey, you getting these shelves out of our basement? They're just there. We're not even using them, which they weren't. They were using a couple of them, I think, sort of, but they had shelves. They had already bought shelves, and it's an easy way to store stuff. So I told Heidi, I said, listen, we got a bunch of stuff here that needs to be, we have tables. But Heidi said, well, we need shelves down here. We don't need tables because there's only so much you can put on there. Well, I'll show you why she said that. Table would be stacked really high because we still have, there's a power station here with a solar panel. We still have this fire pit, this portable fire pit, which is really, 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 really nice. I don't know. I think Heidi's got it on Facebook Marketplace, but nobody is interested. I mean, I did a review on it. Just go check that out. Just go check out the review.
And I can't, I just don't get it. We bought a fire pit in the backyard. That's why we don't use it. But we do have these totes here. And then all of these boxes here, all of this, that goes. And then that tote there that says RV supplies, I think that's it. There may be another one here. There's RV stuff in them. But, oh, and then this power station, I still have to do a review on this. This is a beast. I mean, this is really big. I think it's 2,400 watts. You know, heck, our generator's 3,000 watts. So, but anyways, getting back to what I was saying, and then all this furniture's got to go down there too. So Heidi said, well, I think we need those shelves. I said, well, I don't disagree. And the thing is I said, you're going to have to go over there and disassemble them. And then we'll have to reassemble them when we bring it back. But yeah, we're getting there. And I forgot how big the garage is. Now, again, I have one challenge, and that's this here. I want to clear this drain out. Unfortunately, things are going to get wet in here. So basically, I need to move all this stuff, get the sewer jetter. I have to assemble it. It's in a box over there with the correct jet and everything to go on the pressure washer. I have to fire up the pressure washer, get the hose out, run that sewer jetter to clean that out. And then at that point, I need to drain the water out of the pressure washer as much as possible so that it can be stored. So the other thing that we got to look at is a lot of the stuff up here was in our RV. We have a hammock. That's a folding hammock. We have a beach cabana. And then we have that screen room. And then you have the awning mat. And then there's an awning screen there, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Well, those things, obviously, if rodents get up there, they could, you know, obviously eat them up pretty good. So the hammock and that, I got to take that stuff down. And that's got to go in the basement. We also have that big portable 10 by 10, 12 by 12, whatever it is. That's a pop-up canopy. That was something that we had stored over at Heidi's mom. And of course, being in a house here, especially next summer, I'll most likely pop it up whenever I'm working outside. It's nice to have that shade. So if I can get that cleared out, then I need to organize this a little bit better, which this is just cardboard from some of the bikes that we did reviews on. We go to we always go to recycling, but there's a few pieces that I'm like, oh, this is okay. I should keep this. And we use it for like if they're having work done in the house or something, we can throw the cardboard down over the carpet so the workers can just walk all over it. Or we may cover up a hole or something like that. So that needs to be organized and stood up and moved out of the way. And it's pretty big up there. I wish that they would have started all this shelf work though. I wish they would have started at one back, you know, to where it was one more back. It made it easier, but I got to put the garage door down. And that's something else. I got to work on the garage door. We never fixed this. We never fixed the garage door. You can see it's just kind of rigged up there. I just put a screw in it. I never straightened that out. And this garage door works really, really well. I'm shocked, but yeah, it needs to, the screws and the bolts need to be taken out of there. And this track or this support needs to be put back in place and then screwed back down. So this is one of those things, those projects keep on going and going and going. Now, going back to what I was saying, and this is why we were talking about getting a shed. And we kind of talked ourselves out of it. I'm not 100% sold. I planned on getting about a 10 by 20 shed that would sit pretty much where the fire pit is and that bare spot in the grass there too. Just long ways this way, with the doors facing this way, or if it's a barn door on this end, facing this way. And then I would be able to store all those bikes, Heidi's furniture, and more importantly, all our lawn equipment, you know, the zero turn and the leaf chipper vac and the edger and the mower and just in general, the pressure washer, stuff like that. The pressure washer, if I blow out all the water and the lines and everything in the pump, I do have some pump saver around here somewhere. Pressure washer saver, or whatever you want to call it. It's a little can, it's compressed, and it's got a screw on it that looks like a garden hose. And at the end of the season, you disconnect your hose from the pump on the pressure washer. And, you know, both, obviously, you know, the high pressure hose. And then you screw on the inlet, that little can. Then you just push the button and it sprays through the pump. And it lubricates the pump and treats the pump for the winter. If you want to get the same process done a lot cheaper and easier, all you have to do is take a short siphon hose or a funnel or something and hook that up to your pressure washer. And as your pressure washer is running and you're pulling the trigger, just pour in RV antifreeze or antifreeze in general, but RV antifreeze is fine. Pour that in and let that go through the pump, and it'll do the same thing. It'll lubricate the seals, and it does fine. There's no worries there. But I just happened to see it on sale, so I bought the little can, so it was a little bit easier. But anyways, the since we're not getting the shed, we're dealing with this, you know, putting this stuff in the basement. And I don't disagree with it. I mean, it's saving us some money. Again, I keep on telling you guys, and I know you guys have heard me. This is not our forever home. This is just temporary. A couple years. That's it. Now, I am not under the delusion that 2 years could turn into 3 years or 4 years. It could happen. Things happen all the time. But we plan on a couple years. We'll see what happens. We have a lot of stuff that's on our plate that's coming up, and we're going to start traveling again on some level. But we just don't know what that looks like quite yet. We knew that it was a safe bet for Heidi to land the job where she did, and it was just a matter of opportunity that she did exactly that. She went back to that, you know, company because she actually went on a couple of interviews, and she said it's a joke. She goes, you know, they don't want to pay, and you know, the job isn't that great that they're offering. So I told her what we had talked about on camera, that, you know, maybe you should just go back to where you were. Well, one of the things that she talked about was, if I go back to that store or back to that company, she goes, I'm not going to, you know, sign back up and get involved with it and be, you know, thrown in to the deep end and then leave, you know, in 6 months. And I said, I have no problem with that. You know, you state the amount of time. And she said she's thinking about 2 years. Again, I have, you know, I'm open-minded, and I know that could turn into 4 years. I don't think it'd go any longer than that, though. We're on the same page there as far as, you know, heading out. But we did like the fact that the house was an opportunity to fix something up, give you guys some content, but fix something up and potentially turn the house around and actually make some money on it. We still think there's a couple of things that need to be done for somebody to be happy with it, you know, and move into it for a pretty decent price. So we would like to get those things done also, but, you know, it's like I said, we're rushing. We were just rushing. We were rushing everything. At first, we thought for sure that we were only going to be maybe 6 months to a year, and then it turned out to where we were doing more, and we realized that, okay, maybe it's going to be a little bit longer. Then when Heidi got the job, it's like, okay, let's slow down everything that we've been doing, and maybe we shouldn't have rushed as much as we did. We could have taken a little bit easier, a little bit slower, and but we're happy things are done. So I've gone on long enough. I'm literally talking to you guys about cleaning the garage. All right, so we're actually standing in the garage in places that we haven't stood for a long time.
Since we moved our stuff here.
Since we moved our stuff here. See this area here? I'm not going to get pressure washing done today. I'm running out of energy. This was more work than I expected. So you can kind of see that we're organized. Not. But I think that we can do this in a manner that I think what's going to happen is I'm going to clear out this area over here because I want to get all this scrap wood up in the rafters. I want to get all the wood on the porch up in the rafters. I want to get these 2 big pieces of wood. I should cut them to at least get them close to the size they need to go on the front.
A bunch of wood on the porch.
That's what I said.
Oh.
Front porch, yeah.
Sorry.
And then the ladder, I'll put that up in the rafters or hang it on the wall maybe.
Some of this tin, we need to just...
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I didn't know where we were going to go with all that. So the thing is when we had a shed, that's where all this stuff went. The scrap wood and the good wood and the plywood and paneling and all that stuff went into our shed. But obviously, like I said, this ain't our forever home. I was talking to the camera earlier telling them 2 years and we're not under any delusion that it couldn't actually turn into 3 or 4 years by accident.
And it's possible.
Yeah. I told them about your work, and
Yeah.
since they gave her the store, and well, we'll see. But yeah,
You never know. I
So-
might say,
yeah.
hasta la vista.
So the garage, once I think that area is cleared off, well, I think I'll move that shelf over here.
See this right here, this area right
I don't
here.
think. I think it's.
Right here.
I'm thinking this area right here, and then I'll be parking my sports car right here.
I didn't know he's giving it away.
Sure, why not? Remember I used to have, what was that car I used to pull in the garage? The Isuzu Amigo.
Yeah,
So our old house, you guys have been with us for a while.
the Capri.
I had, that one side of the garage I always had a lift table and everything. But there was a time there wasn't a lift table there. And I wasn't working from the house. And I had the Isuzu Amigo. I know the Capri was in there for a period of time. And
I thought we had a truck in there.
yeah, what?
Was it the old truck from the neighbors?
Nope, that one's always sat in the driveway.
It would have to be a small one.
Yeah, that's what I don't remember having it. Maybe it was the Isuzu.
Yeah. That might
Maybe that's what I was thinking. Which I like that Amigo. That was a lot of fun. So we're done for the day. That's the update. Hopefully I cut this down so you guys didn't
Oh, I
get
got
bored.
these beautiful things on my arms because I got tennis elbow on both my arms.
Heidi's been playing a lot of tennis. She's been
Well, that's
brushing
just
up.
what they call it.
Yeah, I used to have that.
It's the lack of playing tennis.
No, I played tennis. I did have a little bit of tennis elbow, but then bowling, I had those. Remember, I used to wear that elbow brace.
Yeah, both of my arms are. It feels pretty good when I have these on there.
I'm gonna put them so tight she's gonna lose her arms in the night. They're gonna pinch them right off.
Well, that would be good because when I wake up in the morning, it feels like I didn't rest.
Remember,
Well, I'm glad I moved it out of the way. I'm glad that it rained and now the mop is wetting it.
All right, let's close this out. Yeah, I'm gonna move this. Again, I'm gonna move this shelf over here. I'll back the zero turn back, and I don't know. Maybe one day we'll have 2 cars in here. Forgot to show you guys what it looks like down here now that we made a mess down here.
Let's
So-
just say that if we're given space,
Yeah.
we have no problem filling it up.
So these are a couple of the shelves that we had from the old house. We still have a few more, I think.
Yeah, I think maybe 1 or 2.
And then this is Heidi's furniture factory. And then we moved in the stuff that could potentially get eaten by mice out there in the garage. I talked about that. So the canopies and that. And we have the fan running. See what I'm saying? Look at how it's still dark there.
Yeah.
It-
So it might not be anything.
I don't think that it's moisture. It's just dark.
That, and it could be that, there's so many different shades of paint in here.
Yeah. Those damn professional painters we hired.
I don't know.
So anyways, yeah, you can see then this disaster in here, which it's awful dark. I definitely have to add more lights in here. But yeah, so
It's definitely not living space at the moment.
yeah, we were talking about how Heidi's got a furniture shop and I got a bike shop. Oh, bike and scooter shop. So yeah, this is it. We'll have to redo this at some point because this doesn't. We've got so much stuff down here, so much potential.
Yeah.
That's the sad part. At our old house, we fought with a real low basement ceiling. We fought with half a basement, or not. I shouldn't say half, but
A third, 3/4.
yes, there's some of it was dirt. We fought with we fought with a wet basement. The basement always getting wet.
Yeah.
We fought with the plumbing. Heidi loves her washer and dryer. You know what she likes the most about it? Having to lean down and pull all that stuff out. And is this how you guys? Just tell me if I'm doing it wrong. Is this how we install pedestals on washers and dryers? You know, I didn't want it to get it scratched up, so I left it in the box. But I did install it. But I think I might have installed it wrong. I mean, I got it pointed up, so I thought I did it right.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's a pedestal. The washer.
It's on our to-do list.
The washer becomes the pedestal. Yeah, and then the dryer pedestal's over
Matt
there.
got sick when we were gonna.
Yeah, these things are heavy.
Yeah.
So let me tell you the story there. We tried to buy this washer and dryer at Lowe's, and we did. It was a good price. And we said, hey, we want the pedestals. And they said, well, we don't have the 16-inch pedestals. We just have the 7-inch pedestals. And I'm like, can you get the other ones? No, not really. I said, all right, well, when they deliver it, can they install the pedestals for us? And they said, yeah, we can install them. I said, okay, go ahead and order the 7-inch. It's better than nothing. So they came out. One of the pedestals was damaged, and they put the other pedestal on the dryer. Why wouldn't they? The dryer's a lot lighter than the washer. So they put this little 7-inch pedestal on the dryer, and then the other pedestal that was damaged, it was on back order. And Heidi called and told Lowe's, hey, I just want to return these. Can you send those guys out and just come and get this other pedestal and cancel the one that's on back order, because these are too small. And they were way too short. So at that point in time, we had contacted, I think, Home Depot.
Best Buy.
I'm sorry, Best Buy, right. And Best Buy said, yeah, we have these pedestals. And we said, can you install them? And they said, yeah, that we install them there. Said, but you didn't buy the washer and dryer through us, so it'd be $100?
Yeah, it was $100, but then they had a whole nother story when the actual pedestals came to the store, and I was getting ready to pick them up.
Yeah.
Then I asked them, and they said, no, since you didn't buy the washer and dryer, we can't even charge you, because we can't. You didn't buy the washer and dryer, so we can't install the pedestals.
Right.
So here they are.
Yeah, and so I have those big shoulder strap things that they used to bring these in actually with. I went ahead and ordered it because I thought that was a good idea. So you put it over your shoulders, and it's a big strap that goes underneath the washer or dryer, and then the other person puts the thing on their shoulders, and then they lift with their legs. And I thought, great, we can do that. So the day that we were supposed to have all that happen,
You were sick?
I think I was sick. I can't remember, but
And I think Bud was out of town.
yes, that was it. And I'm like, well, this don't do any.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't sick. It was just Bud wasn't here.
Yeah.
And I said, well, two of us really, I mean, we probably could have done it. I mean, two of us, me and my son-in-law. But, you know, that strap, that means somebody's got to get in between those two, that wall there, with their big butt. And it's a tight fit. And this thing's heavy. I mean, it's very heavy. I installed the pedestals on our washer and dryer back at our house, but it was when the stuff was brand new. It wasn't hooked up, and I just put them on their backs. I bolted all the stuff on the bottom, and then I stood them up.
But then again, I do remember that we loaded that washer.
Yeah, we did that
Went
ourselves.
down- yeah. Oh.
Yeah, we can't do that. I can't do that stuff anymore. You know, I would half attempt it if we had the same basement access
Yeah.
with 3 steps.
Yeah.
I mean that.
You gotta get in here and turn.
Yeah, it's really rough. I would love for this to have. I mean, if we stayed here for the rest of our lives, I would definitely put a tornado exit entrance from the outside that has a door that would allow us to go in and out. I don't know where that would be. Yeah.
Oh no, we couldn't go there.
Oh yeah, we couldn't do that either. So, anyways, we've got some work to do, but the thing is there's so much potential down here because it's a tall basement. It's a very, again, I know it doesn't come out on camera, but it's a big basement. I mean, we've seen bigger. If that wall was not there to divide the 2 halves, it would really be even way bigger. But nonetheless, it's bigger. And you know, there's potential. There's a lot of potential. We just don't like the way they did it. The bathtub needs to come out. We talked about this before. This whole corner needs to be redone. And then the wall and the floor needs to be redone there. And see, we would like to, here's our problem. That shower there with very little work, very little, could be a fully functioning, very nice shower. Here's the thing. I've been using it anyways. It's not bad, but it needs work. So here's the deal. I think there's still going to be some finishing work here of some kind. We need to finish it off, make it look proper, and maybe put a roof in there with a light of some kind. If we did that, then at that point when we sold the home, we could just say, hey, there's 2 showers in the basement. Because this over here, we don't need a bathtub. I've said this before, I'm sorry if I'm rehashing it, but we don't need a bathtub. And the sink, you know, we'll get something decent there or paint that up or something. But basically what needs to happen is this corner, all the stuff needs tore out, all of it. We'll try to save the sink in the cabinet since it operates and it's fine. And then a shower needs to be put over here. We need to have a shower like we had at our old house. Now,
We don't have to.
Yeah, I would like to. It would be nice. And then, of course, the toilet is, you know, the new toilet's right there. It's supposed to go here. And then if we just finish this off, the problem is, you know, we want to be able to access the furnace in that if there's any repairs that need to be done. So we can only come out maybe, see, even that, it's so tight with the furnace.
It needs to be this and then
oh, okay.
just simple.
It could be.
It could still be.
This needs to be a wall, obviously.
Yeah,
It used to be a door, which you know, I guess you could use it. We can
You
make.
could probably use that still as a door.
Yeah.
It's not terrible.
Yeah, it would seem weird though to walk into the bathroom. Oh, I don't know. Maybe it'd be more intimate that way if you walked through this
Oh, you
doorway,
didn't see the shower.
and then the shower would
Be next to the sink.
and it would be like a cubby
Yeah.
or something. I don't know. But yeah, we were just pipe dreaming here. Again, this ain't our forever home, so this is where we're stuck with stuff. And this needs redone.
The steps are terrible.
Oh, the steps are horrible.
Yeah.
Again, not a forever home, but I'd sure like to fix it. Just like we do everything else. Fix it for the next person. Well, I came out on the porch to finish up what we were showing you on video there out in the garage, and I was like, man, it smells really good on the porch. I don't know what Heidi did, but and when I say that, the reason I say that is because at some point they kept, I think, their dog back here on the back porch, and you can see there's a couple of stains. Don't know how well it comes out on camera, but nonetheless, there was a couple of stains that Heidi has been spraying that cleaner bleach. I'm thinking, why does it smell pretty good out here? What did she do? What did she do different? And just as I was getting ready to step towards the door, the air freshener went off. This used to be in our bathroom, the little half bath, and that's a good idea. Oh, she's so smart. So we've had rain and clouds the last couple of days. Right now it's 49 degrees. I think today's high is 50 something. the truck has not been started for a very long time. It's been over a month, maybe about a month and a half, I'm guessing. So I'm going to start that real quick. I think we'll be getting rid of the truck. We got it just to be able to haul what we needed to haul. Let's go ahead and do this real quick. I got a new battery in there. I'll turn on the heater. Turn it on, heat. Alright. Anyways, we got the truck just to haul everything we had in storage. And then I had to haul the zero turn here. So I went out and bought that little trailer. I don't know if I talked about that very much. Anyways, the trailer was on sale. I think they were $900. I think it was not about $900. It's a good little trailer, but it was mainly to haul the zero turn, as that wouldn't fit up in the back of the truck too well unless I had ramps. And even then, I don't know. It's 54-inch deck. Yeah, I could have got it up in there. I think the back was 4 foot wide. I just don't know. It'd been kind of tight. So anyways, that's why I got the trailer and the truck, you know, like I said, just for hauling stuff. Well, now that we've been starting to think about, you know, RVs, you know, fifth wheels and travel trailers, this can haul a trailer. You know, if we just wanted to get into something, this can haul a trailer, but it's only going to be able to haul, I think it's rated for 8,000 pounds, maybe a little bit more than 8,000 pounds. It is a V8. It's the 4.6, not the 5.4. The 4 is a nightmare, but it's a good engine. It runs well. Everything about it's okay. It leaks something up front, either power steering or transmission, but it's never gone low enough for me to actually figure out what's leaking. I need to get underneath there, I guess, and look. Well, now the garage is relatively cleaned out. Alexa, turn on garage light. It'll be nice that, oops, sorry guys, I said the A word again. But now it just sets. Well, I mean, we use it to haul cardboard to recycling. We used it to do a couple of other small things. But yeah, I kind of need to look at something else, you know, look for a reasonable truck. But we're in no rush, and it's winter. I mean, if I get a nice truck, I don't really want to drive it through winter up here. And this one's, you know, already rusty. The body's all rusty, and the bed, I should say, more than anything else. The thing with that is, over the winter, by next spring, the rust will be much worse. It's just the way it is. Oh, the military plane's out there flying. I don't know if you guys can see that. Oh, it looks like just one. Yeah, he did a bank. He just did a bank turn. Okay, so back to this in here. Maybe I should sell our chipper shredder. We're done with it. We don't bag our leaves. We don't vacuum our leaves. We don't suck up the leaves. And this is what this thing's kind of designed to do. I mainly wanted it for the chipper portion of things, just to be able to chip up all that wood, which we did a lot, and then we burned a lot, obviously. But it's pretty good, and I didn't pay very much for it, and it holds value, and it's definitely in the middle of leaf season, so maybe I'll wheel that out and take some pictures of it and post that on Facebook Marketplace. Of course, the cultivator, the edger, and the pressure washer we're keeping. Of course, the zero turn we'll keep. Of course, our new push mower we'll keep, because those things are all needed. We'll still use those. However, the chipper shredder, yeah, I didn't even think about that until I just saw it. And it takes up a little bit of room. I don't know if you can tell, but it's got a good footprint there, and then that big hose goes to it. That hose attaches to it and allows you to go and vacuum your flower beds around your house, and it'll suck up all the leaves. And then there's this big piece here that you, well, actually this one here, you can mount on the front, and it will vacuum up. It's got self-propel on it. You just push it, and it will suck up the leaves. Just like mowing the lawn, it'll suck up leaves instead. And you can either have them, which I don't know why you would, discharge out the back. They will be compacted a little bit, but there's a bagger for it, so you can bag all your leaves. And if the leaves are really deep, you can put this piece on there, and this is a scoop. So instead of the vacuum nozzle just pointing down, it kind of points to the front, and there's a lip on it to scoop the leaves in, because sometimes the leaves are high enough that, you know, that's what you can do. So what am I doing out here today? Reorganizing the rest of this stuff. Mainly, I need to get all the wood that's on the porch, the front porch, and then these two big pieces of wood here. I should install these two big pieces of wood, tell you the truth. And the reason is here's some molding. This is big molding, original molding. This is all original trim. Some of it's scrap, not necessary. Some of it we'd like to keep, but just so I don't have to run to the hardware store and buy wood every time we run into a little project. So I think what I'll do is, you can see some of the wood that's already up there. I'd like to put all this there too. All right, Heidi's not here at this time. She is not at work. She's actually going and having her eyes examined for her prescription. Oh, here he comes. Coming through the clouds this time. Oh, he disappeared. Oh, you can see him. He's just, well, I don't know. This is a wide angle lens. Sorry, guys. Yeah, he's going to be behind the clouds there. Yeah, he's up in the clouds. He might pop out here just past this dark. Yeah, there he is. Pretty cool. They fly over all the time. But anyways, we haven't had our eyes. My eyes don't change that much, so I can go longer before I need glasses. A new set of glasses. But yeah, Heidi, she hasn't had new glasses since I think Vero Beach, when we were in Vero Beach, which, you know, that's been a while, obviously. All right, let me get to work and quit talking. I got absolutely nowhere today. Like everything else, I got sidetracked. So you can see these two rather large 12s, 2x12s. Well, they fit in that wagon nicely. They've been leaning up against the garage. You can see their footprint ever since we had that deck built out front. So the deal is the deck, when they built it, he was going to use those two boards as kind of like support boards that he was going to put into the concrete, or to the bricks when they pulled down the brick wall, to cover up the busted up bricks. Everybody, mute your cameras real quick, or mute your computer or whatever. Get ready to say the A word. Alexa, close garage door.
Closing. Hang on.
You hang on. I don't have time to hang on. So what he did instead was just throw up a couple of 1x6 fascia board. And I'm not a woodworker. I hate doing woodworking of any kind. It's just not my thing. But what I did is I fixed the handrail where the handrail was drooping. It was a sway back, and I sanded it, and I put those boards up to cover up that brick, so you can see here what it looks like. So it looks a little better. All right, let me finish this out. I've got to put a couple more screws in and be done. Now Heidi's filling in putty, so this will be smooth and we can paint it one day. Oh, we got busybody with us today.
Dots on it.
What?
Dots.
Say what now?
We could paint our wood and put white dots on it.
Dots?
white dots.
White
Yeah,
dots.
paint it all red and put white.
I don't think that'll work so good.
Maybe
Oh, a new day. And I almost got sidetracked again. Look, all right, swept the floor. Started gathering stuff up inside the house here. Let's grab the door. I got a bunch of boxes I need to go burn because I was cleaning. I need to clean back here and straighten this out. Maybe that'll get on the plate today. I don't know how you guys operate, you know, and I don't know if it's just me. Heidi makes fun of it all the time, and I get sidetracked. I start off to do one thing, and it's like I see something else, and I just get sidetracked. So we're heading back out here today. You've seen this is where we left it off last night. Everybody mute your computers again. I'm going to say the A word. Alexa, turn on garage light. I still need to add some more lights out here. I have 4 more shop lights just like this. Maybe I'll tackle some of this wiring too. So what you're seeing here is the lack of wires, or sorry, the lack of outlets in here. So there's a box here, right there. And it looks like that they planned on bringing some wires over and through that box to put another plug in play, but it didn't happen. And this here is my fault. You know, when we first got in here, I was doing everything I could to make this garage door work. And unfortunately, the garage door opener that was in here, there was something wrong with it. It would work randomly, and of course, you know how that goes. That doesn't work. You need it to work all the time. So we bought a brand new garage door opener. Initially, I was not happy with this at all because it has that iConnect, or whatever you want to call it, Genie Connect, and it was supposed to hook up to the to the internet, and I couldn't for the life of me get it to hook up. And I mean, I did everything. I'm not dumb when it comes to Bluetooth connections and Wi-Fi connections, and this thing just would not connect. I did everything. I did everything I could think of. So what I had to do instead was go out and buy this system, which is from Wise Cameras. Now our whole garage and house is secured with Wise Cameras. I don't know if you can see, even back here on the back door, there's a sensor. We have sensors on windows, all the ones that can be got to relatively easy. And when I set the alarm, if any of those things break contact, it sets off an alarm and calls the police. Well, actually, the alarm service, or the monitoring service, will contact us to see if it was us. And if we don't answer, or we say no, it'll immediately call the police. So we have a camera that was set up in here when we first moved in. I'll be honest, there's a lot of stuff that we didn't have to do. Let me talk about that. Paranoia. So we had a lot of people telling it. Let me rephrase that. That's incorrect. We had one neighbor that was telling us, get a mailbox that locks because they'll steal checks right out of it. The guy that lived here, I was told, would steal anything that he could get his hands on. I kind of think that might be true if you allow that opportunity to happen. But I mean, I had envisioned something entirely different when we moved in here. When we first were being told this stuff, I was thinking, oh great, here we go. They're going to they're going to be breaking into the garage. They're going to be kicking in the doors, because all these doors had been kicked into this house when we got it. Little did we know that that was just something that was going on with the person that was living here, or the people that were living here, and problems. They were trying to keep someone out, and that person, whenever the house was left vacant, was getting in. And anyways, we bought all these cameras, all this alarm setup, all these signs to put up. we're the only ones on this whole block that have all these signs and cameras like this. I think there might be a couple people that have alarm systems, but I mean, we are covered, I mean, so heavily. I don't know how to describe that, but what I'm getting at is I didn't need to buy half this stuff. We don't experience anything like that. Our cameras will go off when we have random people that walk down the street at like 3 in the morning, and sometimes at midnight, sometimes at 11 p.m. But the thing is there's a food bank that's down the street here at the end of our street that serves some crazy amount of free meals every morning. So a lot of these people are just walking down to get their meals or to position themselves, to where they have a place to sleep at night. They may sleep up against the fence or there are some abandoned homes down there too, although I don't know if anybody's living in any of them. That's pretty much it. They're just walking through. I don't have anybody that's like going around our house and looking through our house, or looking in our, going into our backyard, looking at our cars. There's times that we've left our house unlocked, not on purpose, but it's been unlocked all night. Our cars, a couple times we've accidentally left our cars unlocked. I have, a GPS in my truck and a radar detector, and nobody's attempted to do anything with that. Now, it's not out on the street. It's not up in the dash, but still, I don't hear of anything going on. The only thing we have, when you read the police reports for the area, occasionally there's a domestic dispute. We've seen that a couple times, but really nothing. There's nothing going on here that would warrant all of this extra stuff that we did. But now that we have it, when we first moved in, again, we had all of our stuff in here. We were concerned. We had everything in here. So we went and got the floodlight and camera system with motion detector. Not only that, but there's a motion detector over there on the wall. So if anybody was to come through this back door, kick in the back door or whatever, which I secured it pretty well, especially now it's got deadbolt systems and everything on it. The light would come on. The motion detector would set off the siren, the alarm in here, and if for some reason that didn't work, that motion detector over there would send a signal for this to put the siren off, and also alert me inside too. So again, I think this was something that we could have avoided. I don't know. You guys ever have that kind of experience where, I don't know, you get a little paranoid? Or it wasn't so much, the whole time, everybody we talked to after we talked to the neighbor, everybody we talked to, they're like, no, we don't really have any problem. We'll never really see that much here. We don't have much for problems like that. And I should have listened to it. I mean, it's really not. It is just a pleasant neighborhood. It really is. Our concern is that currently, because of all the residents that are around us being very old, what's going to happen when they pass away? If I had the money to gamble with this home, we would make this a home base of some kind and keep this house indefinitely, just because the neighborhood as it currently stands right now is perfectly fine. The church bells go off at noon, they go off at 6. It's a nice, quiet neighborhood. We don't have, every once in a while we have vehicles that go flying down the street. Obviously they're not from the neighborhood. I have a school behind me. I hear school bells going off all day long, and we hear, games being played out in the fields. It is a high school, although it's a private, I think a Catholic private high school. It's nice. And then you hear the kids playing. There's a school for autistic kids, and I don't know what else. There's another level of handicap that they cater to. And I hear them playing outside. There's a school then, if you go around the corner and up the street, which I did on a scooter. I took a scooter ride when I did a review on one of my scooters up that way. And, there's another school. There's an elementary school up there. And it's all nice. It's very quiet and, peaceful here. So the only time we have a lot of noise is when we have people doing their lawn care, which, like right now, I don't know if you can hear. That's Ruben over there. He's 80 years old, and he takes care of his lawn. The lady next to us here, she's 80. She has a lawn care service that comes in. The lady across the street, Ruben, will do her yard also as kind of a courtesy because they've been neighbors so long. Ruben's been here since the 60s. She's 80. It's just nice. It's quiet here. So, anyways, I'm ranting and just going on about this stuff, ain't I? So if it was the fact that all these people that live local here and around us, if I didn't know, if they pass away, I'm not sure what would happen if they pass away. Who's going to buy their home? So that means it's going to go up for sale. And unfortunately, in this area, this place is bombarded. On a level that I have never seen before, with investors buying homes to rent out. And they basically just come in, they do a quick refurbish, they update the interiors, they fix whatever small things might need to be fixed, and then they put them up very rarely for sale. But if they do, they put them up for sale, and then you have investors buy them that way, or at that point, those people that were doing the flip, they're going to put those up, and make them rentals. And I don't want to live near renters. Renters, the only reason there would be renters in this area is because they can't afford homes. They don't have the income, they don't have the credit, and quite honestly, that usually is a certain type of person that, their life may not just be exactly what they want it to be. And, don't get me wrong, I would love to look for the best in people, but I have to expect the worst. So, that makes it to where our home just doesn't fit the bill for us. It doesn't unfortunately do what we want to. Now, there's been some talk, and it's been very little talk, to tell you the truth, of us renting this home out. This house would rent for roughly $1,000 a month. Some people are telling us $1,200 a month because of how many bedrooms and bathrooms it has and how big the property is and the yard and the garage and everything. I think that it would rent for no less than $800 a month. I've seen a lot worse for $800, $850. So, I don't know. The problem that I have is people destroying my stuff and me being hurt by it. I like to take care of my stuff as best as possible. And even our own home, or, the house that we lived at for 20 years, I just drive by, or we've looked at pictures and stuff, and it's not like we thrive on it, but, I look at it and it's like, what, I'm sure it's not even close to the way it was when we left. I'm sure it's just gone downhill from there. And that seems to be the common theme that we see with everything that we've ever owned. I've never seen like our old truck or an old car that we had, or houses that we lived at prior, or anything like that, to where we go, wow, they really fixed that place up nice. I've never said that ever. It's always been the opposite. People just use it and discard it. Forgot what I was saying. So about getting sidetracked. So the deal is when I put this garage door opener up, I was just trying to get it to work. And this sensor, unfortunately, the button that goes to the front, the wires are broken somewhere because I was just going to reuse them. So I have to run new wires for that. I need to go get the stapler. I forgot about that. But in the meantime, this wiring was just thrown up here at the last minute. And whenever I was doing the wiring of the garage, instead of coming through the access hole on the top so I could put the light cover on there, I just hooked it up the way that I did, which obviously is wrong. So I need to redo that. Plus the same with the plug here. I need to redo that because I was unplugging it and plugging it back in, trying to get it to work. And then this is just an extension. So I had, you know, a place to plug stuff in because there was only one outlet. Now in the meantime, I have a camera that sits outside here that faces out in the garage, and that needed to have power. And unfortunately, it wouldn't reach to this outlet. So, and I needed extra. I mean, this is powering the floodlight. Plus, I was having a problem with the connection for a while there, to where it would lose connection due to Wi-Fi strength. So I had this plug that now turns on all the lights in here. I had it hooked up to the cameras so I could reboot the cameras whenever they had a problem and they would freeze up. So obviously, oh, it's noon. Hear that? Well, 11:58. By the time they're done ringing, it's noon. So that's kind of where we're at. Yeah. Well, another day, and it's still not done. It is a little bit more organized, though. I wanted to get the chemicals over here, and the bike rack up out of the way. Got some people that are supposed to come get that eventually. I put so much wood up here, I don't even know how the roof is hanging on. I'll tell you the truth. That's a lot of weight, and unfortunately, I put the heavier stuff out near the middle. I should have put it over there more. But I mean, it is supported. You can see there's beams that are run to the roof, the peak, in multiple places. So hopefully that helps it out. I think I already mentioned I did fix the garage door. But yeah, this is pretty much it. I just got to keep organizing everything and get it to where I, you know, feel comfortable with it. But it's getting closer. Another day. Another day and the same task. I don't know if I'm getting anything accomplished, to tell you the truth. And the thing is, it seems like I'm moving so much slower than I used to. If you guys go back, ooh, it's a little breezy today. Ooh, it's kind of chilly. And it's cloudy. If you guys go back and watch videos from, oh, I don't know, let's say 2015, 2017, in that range. Man, I move so much quicker. I'm gonna say the A word. Alexa, turn on garage light. But I just, it seems like I don't have that anymore. It's just the sign of getting old, I guess. It's like I work on stuff, but I can't work until I just, let me phrase that. I work like until I just like, oh, forget this, I'm done, I'm whipped. But the funny thing is it's nothing like it used to be. It used to be that I'd work my butt off until I got whipped, and I had a bunch of stuff accomplished, especially when I had my own business, you know, at the house. Doing all that small engine equipment, repairs and sales. Now it's just, I don't know. So, what should I be doing today? Well, I think I'm just going to go right into what I've been trying to do, and I'm going to stick a hose down in this drain to see if I even need to get out my sewer jetter. It'd be nice if I didn't, but nonetheless, I should get at least a hose and see if water goes down this drain. The problem with that is once I do, if it doesn't, I'm going to have water in the garage here. I think it should work. Everything in this house, that's the one thing I'll have to say, that everything in this house it worked. Everything seemed to work. The drains worked. all the faucets worked, all the toilets worked. Now, I'm not saying they're in the best of shape, but all that stuff worked. It just, you know, it worked. Looks like this drain may not work. It's going down real slow. And I can't seem to get it to break loose, so this is kind of, every time I let water in, you can see what goes on here. So I might have to get that sewer jetter out after all, which sucks. Okay, so let me try to explain this whole pressure washer thing, because a lot of people, or sewer jetter, everybody knows how a pressure washer works. You know, you have your water coming in from your hose, that's the yellow hose, and that's just hooked up to the house. And instead of you know, just putting a nozzle on the end of it to spray what you want, or using the hose itself, you hook it to this pump. Now this pump, this here, is run by, of course, the engine. Pumps, engines, it depends on how many horsepower, how high rated the pump is. You have to have, you know, so much horsepower to be able to compress and push higher levels of you know, pressure. So normally then at that point, whenever it's compressed, it comes out into a high pressure hose. That's what this is here. And that goes to the wand. And then the wand now becomes the nozzle that you would have had hooked to your garden hose, but now it's on steroids. You pull the trigger and it releases the pressure and it blows out the end of the nozzle. But in this case, instead of a spray nozzle, I've hooked another hose. Now that hose is just got a nozzle attached to it that's an extension of what would have been on the end of the spray wand. And that's, in this case, this little one right here. Now, a lot of people don't show this, and I don't think I can either. And the reason is because it's hard to show you what these things look like when they're running without getting soaked. So the deal is, and I know this isn't going to come out on camera, there are holes, one hole there, and it's on this little bevel area that's just where my thumbnail is, in that indentation, and it points back. And there's another one over here, does the same thing, and there's another one here. So in this case there's 3 of them, it looks like. Yeah, 3 that spray backwards. I'll explain that in a second. Then you have one on the end on this cone area. So what happens is that high pressure, instead of spraying out in a nice fan spray or a jet spray or something like that, it does come out in a jet right out the end here, but it also sprays backwards. So what it does is it's the jet that comes out of this when it's running is just like, I mean, it would cut your skin easily. It's very, it's a jet. It is a jet of water that's pressurized. But there's also 3 jets pointing backwards too, and what that does is it helps propel this thing into the drain even further. So what you do is you just work this thing back and forth, and it'll slowly clear out whatever the blockage is, hopefully. Now, the reason that the hose looks the way that it does is because I've got to have the wand close to me, but you could see the hose that's actually going down the drain. You know, it goes all the way out, and it's out past the front of the truck, then it comes over and around the pressure washer. I'm going to move the pressure washer. So this hose basically will, from this end here, will go straight out the driveway as far as it can, and then it'll make a U-turn and come right back to the wand. That way you have a nice, clear, unobstructed path for this thing to go, because you don't want it all coiled up and trying to push it in the hole, because it'll just cause knots. Now, I used to do this all the time at our old house, and that's because we had septic. We had a septic system, and every so often I would run the leach lines or the drain field, whatever you want to call it, just to keep it flowing. Because what happens is with septic systems is, even if they're ideal, once they get so old, the leach field becomes a mat. I think that's the term they use. It's like it becomes like a sludgy clay, and the stuff that's coming out the leach line no longer makes it. It doesn't drain any longer. It just kind of stays. So what you do is you break up the drains as much as possible, the leach lines, and keep them flowing, which I'm sure you guys have your own opinions about that have leach lines and leach fields, but our leach field was from 1963, and it was fine. It did a good job all those years. And by the way, do I think I need this much sewer jetter line? No. That was for potentially running from the street, so it's a little long for what we need. Now, I'm going to tell you that being a small engine mechanic and working on pressure washers that have failed over the years, there's a couple of things you can do to help with this. Even though this thing has an unloader valve that's supposed to help with pressure, I have always had this thing to where when I start it, which I'm going to disconnect the sewer line right now because it doesn't necessarily need to be on there. As long as I don't pull the trigger, nothing's coming out of the end. Whenever I do my pressure washers and I start them, I have the trigger pulled. That way it's not failing. So I know I'm on a camera view, I was just letting you know we're getting ready to get noisy. This thing set for a little bit, let it drain down. I'm also going to put some gloves on. It's not very smart that I didn't have gloves. I'm also going to turn the pressure washer because the exhaust is coming inside. Alright, let's get back at it. Think this has ever been clean, so we're gonna be here for a little bit. I'm gonna shut you guys off and allow this thing to do the job. Ideally what I like it to do is, you know, all of a sudden just break loose, but it doesn't look like, it just feels like that it's clogged for a really long ways. this might happen. A lot of you probably saying, why in the world did you wash all that stuff back in there you just got out? Well, it's supposed to drain out. If that stuff can't drain, then I need to do some more work. So basically now the job at hand is, that's why I switched gloves, I need to be able to twist that line. The job at hand is to twist and pull on this sewer jetter until it comes loose, which it's in there. I don't know if I rounded a corner. Maybe there is a valve that this thing has, trap door. It might have got past the trap door and it don't want to come back through. I like to free the sewer jets up using pressure, because it has a tendency to keep it away from the walls of the pipe, and whenever corners are being negotiated, even coming back out, all you got to do is twist the line, and the fact that those jets are blasting, you know, and pushing it helps it. So, sounds like it's 2 minutes till noon, because by the time they're done ringing, it's noon. If that, maybe it's a minute till noon. But yeah, the problem is, which is tough, this is where a foot valve comes in handy, because you can stand on the valve and use both hands, where in my case I have to rig up the handle of the pressure washer wand to stay on, which I think I have a clamp here that I can do that with somewhere. I gotta hunt it down. I haven't got the garage organized, obviously, but yeah, this will do. If I can get this line out, I'll run water through it, a considerable amount of water, to make sure that it's flowing, but it seems to be flowing. Now, why am I doing this? Why, you guys probably thinking, well, why do you need this drain anyways? Well, it was draining enough that it could handle if somebody came into the garage like Heidi and her car's covered in slush and ice and all that, it would melt and it would go down the drain. It looked like it was draining just enough to handle that. If you wanted to, which I can't because of the way the garage is set up, you could wash cars in here. I mean, I still could, I guess. I could wash my zero turn. I could, you know, I could clean everything off, and you know, the water leaves. The water goes out of here. It's really nice. That's a nice feature to have. Even our old garage, it had a drain that emptied behind the garage, so it just drained in a hole and then behind the garage. Like I said, I got a lot of work. And I'm not going to keep the camera on doing all this because it seems senseless, but I will let you know how it goes. What do you guys think? Well, I'll have to tell you that I was wrong. I didn't have to go very far at all for this line. It didn't go very far. So here's the really good news to this. I can have that end that's on there duplicated on this good part of hose. So I lost about 20 feet of this line. That's good. I can deal with that. That means that I still have a sewer jetter that has quite a bit of line on it. I thought it was further than that. I really did. I thought there was much more than that. But it got hung up, and I mean, I could not for the life of me get it to disconnect. It hooked onto something, and it was hooked on there hard. So it looks like that it was right in here that it got hooked up on whatever it is. And you could see all the cut marks. I think you can see that. Where I was pulling on it. Yeah, it caught there too. No, that's not true. Wow, this thing must have been hung up right there. So it wasn't far at all. I don't get it. I don't know what happened, but nonetheless, it's out of there. That's good. Holy cow, this was a success. So now all I gotta do is just I'm gonna run a bunch of water in here, make sure the drain is fully cleaned out and free, which so far seems that way. And yeah, now I gotta get a drain cover. I mean, I don't know what this is from. It looks like an old bathtub or something from who knows what. And I just had that in there, which worked, but I do need to get a normal drain cover. Good news. Wow, so that turned out to be a success. Okay, well, now I got the mower out, maybe I'll run through the yard real quick because we do have rain in the forecast. At this time of year, I like to try to keep the leaves up and mulched up. And there's a big pile of leaves back there. I was out here talking to our son the other day in the garage, and both of us, we heard a distinctive sound, and a big branch fell down on the other side of the fence. It was not on our property, but yeah, we need to do something about that maybe one day. The other thing I need to do, which will have to be in the spring, is pressure wash all this mold that's growing off the fence. I've talked about this before, and then we've got to spray paint this fence. We have to paint it. I'm sure it's going to cost a decent amount of money for us to spray the fence with some sort of a red stain or brown stain or whatever it is Heidi chooses. But it needs done. It definitely needs done. All right, good news. Okay, let me go ahead and start putting all this stuff away and maybe start on these leaves and clean up the backyard. I don't think the front yard needs it necessarily, but oh, school bell, time for class change. That's the only thing I don't like about living near this church. For whom the bell tolls. So, we get it rang on at noon and then at 6 o'clock, but then whenever you have a random like this, it just keeps on toning, single tone. Oh, it stopped. Ooh, wow. Ooh, that's even scarier. It's one ring for every year that the person lived. They're holding a funeral over there, and there wasn't that many rings. Wow. I'd be surprised if there was 30. Ooh, that's scary. I think I'm finished for the day. You can see here's all the hose that's left, so that's good. We just got to get this end put on there, or have another one. What is that, swaged? Is that what they call it, swaged? Anyways, put on there. I've got some more to do in here, obviously, but yeah, I wanted the zero turn back further, and this stuff over here, the pressure washer can go in the basement. Maybe I'll just leave it out here, but the tiller can go back in the box, and then the edger, it can just stay out I'm talking about for the winter. So we still have some uses, I still have a few more mowings with the zero turn, that's for sure, which I did today. Like I said, getting sidetracked, but I wanted to take the lawn down and stay up with the leaves. You can see why. I mean, when these things really start cutting loose, it's going to be a lot. I've got one more good string trimming to do for the whole property before we can put the string trimmer away for the winter. And it's going to be a lot. I mean, when you do a string trimming job, I don't care what kind of home you have. If you've got a lot of little things to go around, it could take an hour just string trimming. But yeah, I pulled the generator out. I think I might have to fire that up, and let it run for a little bit just to exercise it before it goes away for the winter. I may pull the battery out of it and maybe put the battery on a tender for the winter, just so I don't have to buy one. Oy. I dread the whole idea of winter. But you can see what's got to go on with the lights. I definitely need another light here, and probably another light back here, just to light up this corner, make it a little bit brighter. And I still have to put this floodlight outside on the back wall of the garage, and I have another floodlight just like it that I need to put on the front in place of that thing, which it's not a big deal. I just have to shut off the power to unfortunately to a lot of the house, because the stupid way they got this thing rigged up as far as the electrical. I've got like one breaker that shuts off, a 30 amp breaker that shuts off a whole bunch of stuff. Anyways, I'm not used to not having this being a breaker like in our old garage. Oh, it's our son. All right, so he's out driving around. I told him pick me up some lunch. It's the one thing that me and Heidi enjoy and we don't, is being so close to all these restaurants. The bad part about that is being close to all these restaurants. There's so many choices. It's temptation. It's temptation that we just can't get away from, and you know, it's just so convenient. I don't know. We'll get past that at some point. We haven't started any kind of a diet or anything yet. Soon. So Heidi's at a meeting over in Youngstown today. She, you know, being the manager, she has all these, you know, district meetings and stuff like that. Used to be that her company used to fly them down once a year to a resort in Tampa. I think they did Tennessee one year, but there was like 2 or 3 years in a row that she went to Orlando, and they stayed in a really nice resort, you know, for a few days. It was, you know, a different time. They're not necessarily doing that anymore. But they did get a new boss, a big boss, a new CEO of Advance. So who knows? I was telling Heidi it's trinkets for the natives. She was told that they're getting new shirts, and the company is buying like 5 shirts. They never did that, or you know, I think they might have at one point. But anyways, let me go ahead and get inside and get cleaned up. Since he'll be back here with my food in a little bit, and yeah, I know this has been pretty boring, but it's just what we're doing. We want to keep you guys up to date. I hope I chop this up and put it in little increments, because I got rambling on about stuff, and you know, planes were flying overhead, and you know, all kinds of weird stuff that I filmed, and I'll try to make it entertaining as possible. But usually it's a lot of me talking here, and then I just cut it up, and I just put little bits of it on there. So that's it. Oh boy, new day, and it's really starting to look like Ohio out here. Had rain for a couple days. It's colder. Sully, I got a version of the baggie on. I'm not sure what to call it. Baggie 3.0. Yeah, hey, cover your ears or mute your sound. I'm going to say the A word. Alexa, turn on garage light. I need to definitely do the last little bits of getting this garage straightened out, because I've got reviews I have to do, and I have another product coming. I think I have a bike coming today. Ohio. I mean, it's again, I've already talked about it. This is so depressing to me. Everybody, I'm sure, is going, oh, look at the fall colors are starting to come through. I can see they're getting lighter. I'm colorblind, so I don't enjoy it at all. All I see is the leaves on the ground. So, whatever. But yeah, we got to do this. We got to clean this up. So Heidi's been working her butt off, like I said earlier. Nothing's changed there, and yeah, I mean, really, there's nothing for me to update you guys on. I just wanted to say hi and show you maybe the after on this. Don't expect anything up here to get straightened out right now. That's not going to happen.
All I'm trying to do is get the floor freed up and cleaned up to where it looks a little bit more presentable. And then I need a table out here, which I have. I just put it up on sawhorses, so I can do some reviews out here possibly. But yeah, it's funny how a lot of these totes, I mean, these are just how we took them out of the RV. Nothing's changed. It's exactly the same as they were kept in the fifth wheel pass-through storage, which is funny because I'll tell you, if you guys didn't have a chance to look at it or whatever, I haven't shaven. It's cold out. I don't really care to. Anyways, if you guys want to go back and look, I was shocked on how much stuff came out of our fifth wheel. So when we sold our fifth wheel to Camping World in Kissimmee, Florida, when we basically called it quits and took off, we rented the U-Haul and we loaded up HEIDI's or however you want to say it, her Kia, that was loaded up with the stuff that's a little bit more sensitive. My F350, the long bed, it did have a hard tonneau cover on it, but it was loaded up. And then we had that U-Haul, and that U-Haul was pretty well packed. I was shocked. I'll tell you, I was shocked. And all that was in the truck and the fifth wheel. We didn't have anything in the Kia at that time, but yeah, can you believe that? So that should give you an idea that if you take everything out of, in this case, it was a 37-foot fifth wheel, had great storage in it, had really good storage. If you take everything out of there and try to find a place for it, you're gonna be pushed for some space. Now, to be fair, I did have 2 bikes in addition to 2 other bikes that, you know, normally you want to have 4 bicycles. And I also had a mini refrigerator that, again, I guess maybe your RV could have a mini fridge, but that mini fridge, that was a review item also. We had to pick those up at our mail forwarder before we came back. But anyways, I had to get that hand cart out too. I got to get that freed up. Oh, it's right here. So FedEx can put the product on there. Meh. I guess just meh. Isn't that a saying? I mean, it's a little bit more organized. Stuff's out of the way. Heidi can easily park in here. If I do just a little bit of rearranging, I could probably park in here too. I don't know. It's kind of tight over here. I have to be able to pull in and kind of go to the right a little bit. But, oh, I'm sure it could happen. I'm sure it could be done. But there's no reason. Unless I'm going to work on the truck, which could be a possibility. It does have a couple leaks. I've talked about it before, the power steering or the transmission lines. One or the other leak up front. Now, this thing's always had a power steering line since I got it. So, I don't know. I've looked and the reservoir is full. I've never had to top it off. And same with the transmission. It's full. There, you know, it's right to the fill markers. I never had to top it off. So, anyways, I got to do a review on this. Got to do a review on that. I got to do a review on that. So I think this is going to be all I got to do out here, because I do have work to do inside today, and that would be for another update. This video in particular. Those of you who've been with me for a while, isn't this garage starting to look just as messy as my old one?